Once upon a time there was a kingdom full of flowers and rainbows, where the sun shone all the time and there was loads of that goody-goody, lovey-dovey, good people stuff going on. There, the alliance of abominably good people lived in unearned wealth and prosperity.
How dare they?
But there was a path leading to a different place there. At the end of this path was a rock. There was a cave carved in this rock in which the absolute evil lived. It wasn't a grubby, damp cave smelling of muck and mildew, but a deep, dark dungeon, so dark that even darkness itself was afraid of it. It was home to numerous innocent monsters who enjoyed a happy, contented existence, living in complete harmony with their environment. But time and again, the sickening, sweet-smelling good visited this underworld in search of treasure and experience points. Many monsters found this to be the death of them, but much worse, the absolute evil's treasures were being stolen.
How dare they?
Just as a few more heroes had finished plundering its dungeon, the absolute evil decided it had had enough, and decided to do something new, something quite monstrous. Go to the surface. The Alliance tried to resist, but the approaching horde just flowed over them like an angry wave of axes, teeth, and bad breath. After numerous unrelenting battles, the absolute evil finally stood before the Alliance's capital, King's Ending.
I'll be right back. I gotta go take my nugs out.
With earth-shaking steps, the unstoppable evil... evil began its trek towards the front. In the terribly improbable event that it may have forgotten how that works, a formidable help function has been provided. I said, with earth-shaking steps, the unstoppable, if somewhat sluggish evil began its trek towards the front. Few of the Alliance units had entrenched themselves here. A determined, absolute evil marched towards them in order to strike them down with its mighty weapons. Absolute evil had discovered a medal. These legendary awards ensured creatures could be made even more powerful. Only one runs the creature could only wear one. Eyes ablaze with greed, the insidious evil gazed upon the blood-drenched battlefield. Here the last defenders of good would die, and an age of evil would begin. Projectiles from the Alliance's catapults darkened the sky, but the Horde's fighting skills were at their best in darkness, if they survived. Nothing and no one could stop the invincible evil.
Does 666 damage, jeez.
Took yet another hero to the slaughter. The absolute evil destroyed the defenders' camp in the east with the greatest of ease. Now, only one tiny camp offers any resistance to the absurdly evil evil. And even that won't be able to hold out for much longer. Absolute evil destroyed the defenders' camp in the west with the greatest of ease. The defenders in front of the city had been beaten to a pulp and defeated. Now the time had come to attack King's Ending. The final battle beckoned. The city gate was firmly barricaded by the Alliance's archers, but the absolute evil would not allow itself to be held up by such a ridiculous impediment. So, go get them! Destroy them now! Sorry, stay in character. The absolute evil used its all-powerful magic to eliminate the archers and open the gate to the city.
Huh, what the heck?
The absolute evil had a good long think, but at precisely that exact moment, it decided to act and to deploy its overwhelming magic powers. But this proved to be a complete fallacy. It would appear that the distracted evil was not aware that it should use one of its powers here, something that could have been done with ease via the GUI. If in doubt, the formidable help utility could also have been consulted on the matter. Secretly, the confused evil was debating whether it wouldn't be much nicer to watch a series of My Little Unicorn. All this stuff about evil campaigns was just so totally overrated.
Oh.
The defenders of the city were mightily relieved. Obviously, the sluggish evil had got tired of the siege and lost the urge to spread evil all over the world. Using its legend of, wait for it,
Okay. 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 Gosh
the
dang
absolute
it.
evil destroyed the impediment with ease and simultaneously eliminated a whole group of defenders. The road to the capital was now clear. The absolute evil did not hesitate for even 1 nanosecond. Actually, the cowardly evil did hesitate. What waited in the city? The insidious evil entered King's Ending. A small, pitiful group of defenders stood in its way. Suddenly, the doors of several houses in the city opened, and with a loud roar, defenders bore down on the rather surprised. An ambush. And then suddenly, the absolute evil hit the ground. The day was saved, and good had triumphed. The Alliance lived happily ever after, whilst the defeated forces of evil had to eke out the remainder of their miserable existence underground. No, of course not. In reality, absolute evil was not defeated, but, just took a little comfort break. A short while later, it arose once again. And once again, the absolute evil had to have a break. Good grief. You really aren't on this, are you? How many more times do you intend to die in this tutorial?
I thought that was just how the story was going, bro. You're killing me. You're literally killing me. There we go.
The invincible evil had crushed the defenders. King's Ending had been defeated. At least, that's what he thought. Suddenly, the final heroes of the Alliance emerged from nowhere. Another ambush? Now, this was becoming very boring. But wait, this time it was different. Instead, the heroes raised their hands and started singing an incomprehensible chant. A magical ritual? This did not go well. Well, actually, it bode the arrival of good things, great things, unless you happen to be the absolute evil. Somewhere in the depths of the dungeon, the ultimate evil awoke. It did not know what had happened, nor why it had awoken, but it longed for revenge. The last remaining heroes of the country joined forces and cast a powerful banishment spell. The absolute evil disappeared from sight with a threatening gesture, and a faint whispered,
Be back.
coming from its lips. The absolute evil had been banished, and its essence shattered into several pieces. Its reign of terror had ended. The good people of the overworld rejoiced, and an era of peace began for the Alliance.
You got 10 minutes, game.
The evil
Wow, me.
creatures were driven back into the underground, doomed to serve as cannon fodder for pleasure-seeking adventurers. Meanwhile, secreted away in the world's most inaccessible places, the last remains of the absolute evil were resting, never again to see the light of the overworld, until today, somewhere deep under the earth, the ultimate evil awoke. And the hand of terror arose, controlled by the ultimate evil. Come on, Hand of Terror, arise, damn you! Methinks that exploring the surrounding area would be a sensible strategy. However, to do this, light would be required. Still not bright enough. An old throne room was revealed by the light. The circumstances remained a mystery. The Hand of Terror flew through the throne room, following each and every thought the Ultimate Evil had. After a few flying sessions, the Ultimate Evil was able to control the Hand with ease. The time had come to call forth creatures who were completely devoted to it and would do its dirty work. Little Snots were the dregs of each and every dungeon and spent their time taking care of it. The expansion-mad Evil hired one Snot on the spot. After very careful consideration, the Ultimate Evil now decided to recruit a Little Snot. The first Little Snot appeared.
Alright,
It
Little
was
Snot.
completely ready to work in the dungeon and to crawl in the dust before the Ultimate Evil. Little Snots were important to the Ultimate Evil because they took care of many important little things, such as excavating new areas. The psionically gifted Evil could sense the presence of something important that was buried to the south. It instructed its Little Snots to dig in that direction. The Little Snots still didn't know what they were meant to be doing. At last, the Hand of Terror marked the area to be excavated. The Ultimate Evil hesitated a little. As quick as a fart, the Little Snot made his way to the marked position and began to dig.
I'm sorry.
Behold, the creatures of the overjoyed Evil had apparently been much more industrious than it had thought. A great dungeon was revealed behind the wall. Everything was already in place. Doors, traps, a well-filled treasury. Oh wait, treasury? And where, if you please, is this treasury? Oh well. One can't expect too much of these mindless little Snots. First of all, some gold had to be dug out to make space for a treasury to be created. The Hand of Terror swiftly marked a few small gold veins so that the Little Snots could excavate. As soon as the gold vein was selected, a Little Snot immediately set out to mine valuable gold for the greedy Evil.
Five Little Snots. It's a trap, I see. Okay, you're starting to get my attention, game.
Once most of the gold had been mined, the Hand of Terror quickly created a treasury on the spot so that the precious metal could be safely stored. The clever evil mastered this task with flying colors. From now on, Little Snots could use the treasury to store mined gold. It was then at the greedy evil's disposal whenever more rooms needed to be built or new creatures recruited. Little Snots were all well and good, but were too weak and cowardly to defend the dungeon. Since it was not able to defend itself, the ultimate evil would have to hire some orcs. But they would require food. Liquid food. Well, beer to be precise. So the next important thing to build was a brewery. And that would require some space to be creative. The ultimate evil had the feeling that its servants were not really putting their backs into the work. Might a hearty slap from the Hand of Terror change that? The sadistic evil encouraged its creature to work a little faster, with a friendly but not at all gentle slap.
Get busy.
There was now an area cleared to the brewery site, and with quick finger snaps from the Hand of Terror, the room stood ready. Excellent. But the recently built brewery lacked a brewing partner. With a sigh of resignation, the overworked evil set about taking care of that too. hard-working evil effortlessly built a brewing copper so that delicious beer could be brewed as soon as possible. One of the little snots started working on the brewing copper. The nostalgic evil banished all thoughts of Oktoberfest and brass bands. Those would have to wait. More important tasks had to be completed first. Both beer and gold were now available in the dungeon, so it was time to hire some creatures to defend against greedy heroes or whatever else snuck around underground. At present, it was only simple orcs declaring undying loyalty to the ultimate evil. The rest of the horde was scattered to the winds. Orcs were defensive close combat specialists, capable of dealing with many opponents. However, they were very vulnerable to ranged attacks. The dungeon of the expansion-mad evil grew and prospered, but unfortunately, it had reached the maximum possible population it could currently manage. Now a creature would have to be thrown into the bottomless pit before any others could be brought in. An eerie gong rang through the hall. It did not bode well for the ultimate evil's treasury stocks, for at each sounding of the gong, the creatures would collect their undeserved wages. However, there was little it could do about this, as it was chained to the throne. Thus, it had to give free rein to its servants' desires, for the time being at least. The creature disappeared into the pit of uselessness with a long drawn and gradually diminishing.
Bye-bye.
This particular act of wickedness brought a smile to the face of the ultimate evil. A thirsty orc, one louse-infested orc, crawled up from the depths and declared allegiance to the ultimate evil. The first step towards the creation of a powerful army had been taken. The profound evil had had enough of dungeon sightseeing and now wanted to move to the surface to try a dish that is best served cold. Revenge. Some Alliance members were bound to be guarding the entrance to the overworld. A fine appetite for a vengeful evil.
And with that, I think we're gonna get closed up here. I don't know. Give this one more mission.
Evil's creatures came upon a spider's nest during their search for an entrance to the overworld. It would take more than one orc to smoke that out. The abysmal evil used the Hand of Terror to grab several of the creatures that were still completely inexperienced at fighting and threw them onto the spider's nest. The spiders dropped like flies. The strategically well-versed evil patted itself on the back, proud that it had led its troops into battle with such aplomb. And by led, I just simply mean chucking them at the enemy. The basics of a dungeon were now in place. However, the brewery was puny and didn't really have room to store beer barrels in, and the treasury was also anything but impressive in size. Quickly, the expansion-hungry evil set out to enlarge its dungeon.
Yeah, I'm gonna save it and probably get on something we all like here real quick. Finish my nugs.